welcome back to Laserpayon Games. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Lightning Sorceress in Diablo 2 BXL Sigma. And let's start with the skills. Alright, so we're going to start with the reward skill tree. And we're going to put 5 points into Symbol of Esu, which is going to give us 5% Fire, Cold, and Lightning absorb. That's the max you can get, and as well as what's going to let us make the moon symbols here. Which will let us heal at level 5 here, 100% max life restored when consumed. So it's going to be a full heal for our moon symbols. I'm going to put 1 point in Force Blast. This is just going to be a debuff that we use in big groups of enemies, while we have 1 point in Twilight Havoc here as well, which is a big cooldown right now. It's a 20-second cooldown, but it's basically going to be our second damage type, a magic damage. And then we're going to come down and max out Witchblood. For our main lightning tree, I have 1 in Forked Lightning, 1 in Thunderstone, and I maxed out Tempest. You can choose any of the first 3 skills here. I tried them all out. I just like Tempest the best, but they're all viable. They're all pretty actually similar. They just kind of attack slightly differently. So Tempest is kind of like the lazier one, where you just click the button and it kind of auto fires and targets everything. So I'm going with Tempest here. Going down to Warp Armor, we're going to max that out to get as much avoidance and bonus defense as possible there. And then for Nova Charge, we're actually going to put 6 points in, so we can get 50% of base dexterity added to energy, and that's the max you'll be able to get. And this is also going to kind of have like a extra damage and stun effect as well. For our arcane tree here on this other page, we're going to put 1 in immersion. We're going to max out familiars. This is going to give us, well, a huge party buff. It's buffing everyone else as well. Cast speed, energy, one all skills per 4 base levels. So we're going to need all skills off level 28. I'm kind of one short. If I get to level 32, I'll get a +9. So hopefully I'll be able to find another charm soon, or a trophy or something that can increase my skill levels by 1 more. And then I didn't actually take any of the magic spells here, because I already have Twilight Havoc, which is going to be our magic damage, even though it's on a big cooldown. We also have damage from the familiars, which looks like to be just physical. So we do have multiple damage types. And then here's where you're going to have some points left over. So this is where you can basically dual spec to get a second passive. When you're playing a sorceress, the fire, lightning, cold, and poison trees, you can basically only choose 2 of the 4 to get a passive bonus. The arcane and melee are separate, and you can put as many skills into those as possible. For me, I'm going to be going straight up mono lightning because of my weapon, you'll see in a minute here, does not allow me to get another passive bonus. But for you guys that can have any other different weapon, I would suggest you take another tree, maybe even the cold tree, and you can get yourself some extra defense or life. Or in poison, you can get yourself max life and physical resist. You could probably take one of those 2 passives, and then make sure you put enough in it to max them out. For me, I'm going to be going to the melee tree and putting 1 in Moonstrike, 1 in Race Sword, 1 in Fusillade, and then putting the rest of my points into Blade Spirits as kind of just like an extra summon to absorb some damage for me, so I don't have to take all the hits. But you'll see why here that I cannot get a second tree because of my weapon saying it'll all my lightning skills will have 20-second cooldown if I put any points in fire, cold, or poison trees. So because I have Mistress of Pain, I cannot go into any of the other trees. But for anyone else, you should definitely pick up a dual spec passive in one of the other trees to gain some more toughness. So for me, instead of getting the physical resist or extra life, now I'm getting the extra chance to avoid damage off Mistress of Pain instead, and then I'll see a lot of extra lightning damage. It's a decent trade-off. So they made it so that it's not too overpowered, I guess. Okay, so for the stats here on the left, I'm just going to put enough strength and dexterity in to wear all of my items. And then I kind of have like around 500 in vitality, and the rest went into energy for extra damage. It looks like I need to fix my resistances a little bit, and we'll get a better charm upgrade to max my cold. It looks like it's off by 3 to 4%, but I can upgrade my Asmodan's Heart by farming that. So also you want to keep your resistance maxed out. So my shield is Witchstrum, so that's a nice pairing. You're going to get up to another 4 Sorc skills on top of the 10 for Mistress of Pain. And then my armor is Armor of the Old Religion. So this is going to give us another 10% chance to avoid all damage. So that's going to stack. You can get up to 15% on Mistress of Pain, but mine was a bad roll, as well as up to 60% lightning spell damage, I think. And mine was like only low. It was super low, because some of that was added after. So I'm trying to stack some avoidance here with the warp armor from the lightning tree. So I had 19 from there, which is going to be 30, so I'm going 40%. If you get this up, and then also you can get around 45 to 50% avoid at a bit higher level. I'm level 133 now. Probably another level or 2, and I'll be able to upgrade my warp armor again. Yeah, we'll see rings and ammo stuff. So I'm just using Black Dwarf, which is gonna, if you find a decent one, it's gonna give you a lot of lightning pierce and extra lightning damage, and some cast speed, as well as, I guess, Supernova, that is a lightning skill that I don't really use, and then some extra defense. For rings, I am just using rare rings. Try to find ones that have lightning spell damage and lightning pierce on them, and then you can kind of add whatever you need on top of that after. There's a few sacred unique rings that are a bit better. I just don't have extra ones for my sorceress right now, and I believe the rest of my gear is going to be crafted. So I got +3 all skills. So this is all ornate shrines for Pierce. So I got a $3 skill diadem, because there is no class specific Sorc helms. You're able to get $2 Sorc skills on gloves, so make sure that you're rolling for that on your gloves. There's some better SU belts and boots as well, but I just went with crafted for Pierce, trying to get my Pierce around minus 100, because this is more of a farming build. It is not going to be great for bosses, but it's going to be good for farming, like Dunk and Watsonville and stuff. So get your Pierce around 100, and then I aim for around 200% cast speed. So that's kind of what I went for with my gear. And I guess we can go kind of show what it does. Oh wait, last thing is your offhand here. So this is going to be different. So normally you can get Shamanka Staff for most of your other characters, and that's going to give you your bloodlust. But for the Sorc, they get a special rune word with this rune called Circe, and it's going to give you 24 to bloodlust, which is huge. And then I'm going to pair that with a 6-socket shield that is, I'm short of dexterity for that. So I guess that's not active right now. I'm going to have to fix that. Oh, I can just add the orbs to it and decrease the dexterity needed. Maybe I'll just do that right now.
At your service.
Okay. Because it doesn't matter the stats on it, you're just using it for... Okay, let's get the requirements down on that thing. I'll just put them all in since I'm already doing it. Okay, so this is, if you roll it with Shrines, 6-socket shield, you should be able to get 2 skills on it, and then fill it with knee runes. and that's going to extend the buff duration. So you're kind of pairing them up with this orb, which is really nice, and you'll get a long, high-level bloodlust. So you see my bloodlust here is level 49 right now with my familiars, which is crazy. So you can go ahead and buff up with that, and you're gonna get a lot of extra spell damage. 26% extra. Also, this is even better for a physical Sorc, a melee Sorc. But it's good to have on any Sorc spec in your offhands, so now you guys know about that. Alright, so I'm going to buff up here. Maybe I'll open up some thoughts. I can get up to 9 blade spirits here. And what am I missing here? My mana shield. So they've buffed mana shield a little bit in the last patch as well. So let's open thoughts here, and we can go see what this build does. Now I don't have high HP because I am missing my passive from one of the other trees, so you will have higher life than I do. I'm trying to just dump a few extra vitality in right now because it was quite low, but I'm gonna start getting it up a bit as I get more stats. Right now I'm 2 at 38 sigs. I'll be able to get a bit more. So you'll see that you don't really it's pretty lazy. You don't really have to target anything with Tempest. You kind of just just hit the button and it'll just kill everything, really. And then you can use either, well, that's gonna be on cooldown, so I got the debuff here. I'm gonna go ahead and debuff. I'm not even using, ooh, that's you. I'm trying to just walk around and blast everything. I'm doing a decent amount of area effect damage, and if they're close, I think a lot of time they just pretty much die right away. But definitely not the best on bosses, but enjoying it for farming thoughts and Duncraig and getting a lot of items. I'm sure you can build a nice magic find build with this as well. I'll go pick up the scythe before you guys all yell at me in the comments. Like, but that's... I just don't want to stop moving, and like, if you keep moving, then... Oh, there we go. Better harvest. I believe there was some kind of... Yeah, so I'm using the Force Blast right now to debuff the enemies, and then you can kind of use your Twilight Havoc, because it has a big cooldown. You can fire it off and then switch, and then Force Blast, and then just start spamming your lightning. Ooh, that almost killed me. There's a lot of mobs there. There's a broad axe somewhere, but I don't really care about that right now. So you can see here, it wipes out the enemies pretty quickly. You can, as long as you're cursing them, you can go through this pretty quickly. And I have a lot of extra life on kill as well, so that also helps with this, where you can gain a lot of your health. You don't have a big life pool, but you have a lot of life on kill, and you can just recover a lot of it by killing enemies that way. And that's pretty much it for this build. It's not bad. I know it's my first Sorc build, and then a lot of you have been waiting for it. I will maybe do another Sorc build sooner than later here, so just to catch up, because I've done all the other classes a lot more. But hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next one. Hello everyone who made it to the end of the video. This is LaserPen Games, reminding you to smash that like button, leave a comment below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really helps out. And if you're looking for even more content, check out my Patreon here, where I post exclusive video content every month, and you'll have access to all of that.